Hey guys, welcome to Redline Talk Show. I'm here today with Tirana and our special guest. It's Beti Beno.
Hi, Betty.
Founder of Beti Beno Law Group in New York City. Brings over 21 years of experience in immigration law, family law, real estate. Originally from Tirana, and she's also the president of Motrat Qiriazi organization. Beti, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, Betty.
Thank you for having me here, and congratulations on this beautiful podcast. Wish you lots of success in the future.
Thank you. So, Betty, what first inspired you to pursue a career focused on immigration, family, and real estate law?
Well, my passion for justice, desire to help others have been the sole foundation of picking my career in general as a lawyer, and particularly being able to help my own community speaking Albanian and being of service to them, making it easier to communicate with their attorney, draw me to these areas. As a community, we do face a lot of immigration issues, family law issues, and I'm proud to say that we are a very hard-working community. Despite our challenges, most of my clients end up purchasing their homes, and they've become very successful business people.
So you helped out a lot. I remember. How many years you started the practice?
I've been practicing law since 2023, where I was admitted to the bar in New York.
Okay.
And I've been serving for 22 years now.
Yeah, I remember for a long time. People come to you for all the immigration questions. And so you were originally from Tirana?
Yes, I was born in Tirana, but as I always say, I've lived all over Albania.
Okay.
I had the pleasure, because my parents both were in medicine. My father was a doctor. My mother was dentist, and they worked in the north, which has served me very well to understand, because originally we're from the south. My father is from Himara.
Yeah.
My mother was born in Tirana, but she's from Leskovic and Gjirokastër.
Oh, very nice.
So
that's my background as well. Yeah.
I spent the summers with my grandparents in Himara, which was where I learned how to speak also fluent Greek. And I lived in the north of Albania. I've spent many years in Gjegjën, Puk, also Borizan, Fushkrui. It gave me an opportunity to learn and to be fluent on both dialects of Albanian, the Geg and the Tosk.
So you understand them very well.
Also to see the differences in the culture between, around Albania.
Yeah.
That helps a lot, especially when you're here in America and you're exposed to Albanians from all different regions.
Tremendously. So when people ask me where you're from, I say from all over Albania.
From all over, exactly. Immigration law can be deeply emotional and complex. What has been one of the most meaningful cases you've worked on, and why did it stay with you?
It is one of the cases where, without sharing personal information, victims of war. As we're all aware, ethnic cleansing war in Kosovo was a very tragic period of time for our ethnicity, and helping and defending victims of war, whether being women or men, has been very difficult, because it comes close to who I am, my identity.
You studied psychology before law. How has that background helped you better serve your clients?
Before psychology, I worked as a waitress.
Okay, so it's even better.
And I think that was my best experience in learning, being fast, being a good listener, and helping people.
Communication too,
communication skills. Skills that I took in my practice as well. Psychology has helped me a lot because it makes you understand human being. When these people, the clients, come to your door, they come with a lot of problems.
Yeah.
So each person needs attention. Sometimes we have to listen, and that could be the best thing we can do for them.
I agree, and also it's as Iriana mentioned, it's very emotional part of the process too, right? Because they're very anxious. They have fears. You kind of have to play to their anxiety a little bit and help them calm them down, and explain to them in a calm voice that everything is going to be okay. But it's a process to get there, right?
That's correct. The hardest thing is to when you explain the process and the outcome. It could always be positive or negative.
Yeah.
But the only thing as a lawyer I can do is calm their anxiety, keep them informed about the law, keep them updated about their case, answer their phone calls.
Yeah.
It's very important. Not to add more to the anxiety that they have.
And now the anxiety level is increasing even more with today's climate in immigration. The Trump administration brought major changes to the immigration policies, some of which are still impacting families today. Can you explain to us what are those changes, and specifically to the registration process that is being implemented at this time?
That's correct. With the current Trump administration, there has been a lot of confusion or panic among the community trying to understand the new policies, which I wouldn't consider them new policies because these laws have existed in the immigration law. The administration is trying to enforce the laws. The registration requirement that came in effect on April 11, 2025, requires all non-citizens, undocumented individuals that live in the United States to inform the government about their presence here. The form that they uploaded, and the form that they uploaded on the USCIS.gov, you could find it at under the form section. It's form G325A. This form, it's in English only, which I anticipate that it presents problems to the people who are not fluent in English or don't understand English fluently. However, the form is only online. It requires an email address, cannot be mailed in. So everybody who is over 14 years old and is illegal must register. This law has always been in effect. However, it has been rarely used. Many immigrants must know before filing this form that if they don't register within the 30 days, the government has the right to charge them criminally, which would be a misdemeanor, but also it's an immigration violation. So if you file in the future for an immigration benefit, for example, a person who entered with a B2 visa has been overstaying, and then they marry a U.S. citizen, when they do file, that factor, failure to register,
it's going to show up in their record,
will show up in their record, and they can use it as a negative factor to deny the case. USCIS
so
can
hold
use
on,
it.
I want to just stop there for a second because there's a lot of things to unpack there. The new law, or not the new law, but the new implementation, let's just say, that requires them to register, they have 30 days from April 11th?
That's correct.
If you miss that deadline, what happens?
Well, you failed to register.
But why only 30 days?
There is no explanation to the time limit.
Okay.
Pursuant to the regulation, they're allotted this period of time. Whether it's right or wrong, there is not much room to say, as it's a law and it must be followed. But there is many people, and the confusion is because a lot of people have already been registered. So who are people that are registered? Anybody who has been issued an NTA to be in immigration court, or people who are in immigration court, do not have to register. They've already been registered. People who have come with B1, B2 visas and have issued I-94s, they're registered pursuant to this law. People who
Have
came as
EADs,
crewmen
EADs,
or EAD, work authorization, whether it's not valid or not, or people who in the past filed for I-130, 485, which is adjustment of status.
Yeah.
And even if they're denied, they have complied with this requirement. So for specific, this is not to be construed as legal advice, but everybody who is confused about this law should contact immigration attorneys to find out whether they're registered or not. People who crossed the border, people who were paroled, those are all people that have complied already with this requirement because they've already been to the notice of immigration.
Including someone who put in their papers to, that they're getting married to someone who's a U.S. citizen, that's
correct.
automatically applied.
Even people who have filed already cases, they have cases pending before the USCIS or immigration court, they're deemed to have been registered.
Okay.
So two things that I want to clarify here is that they can only fill this form by themselves. The attorney
That's
cannot
correct.
get involved with this type of process. Is that true?
They have to file the form. I mean, if they need assistance from the attorneys to file the form, they have to open their own account.
Okay.
They can ask legal advice on how to answer the questions to make sure that they provide the right information and the correct information. Now, an issue that is with this form, and I wouldn't say an issue, but something that people have to be aware of. There is a right to Fifth Amendment not to self-incriminate yourself. So
Which means
the
what?
form requires that you, if you're arrested, to answer. And if you broke an immigration law, to answer to the questions. So there is up to debate on, what people do. And I think that's what's causing a lot of confusion between the right to self-incrimination and the duty to register.
Interesting.
And also, what I think it's worth mentioning here is that I think the most impacted group that I see, it's the children that came to this country that were under 14 years old. That
And
did
now
not
we're over?
require registration at the time. They must register, I think, now,
Yes,
right?
that's correct. Parents are obligated to register the children that are under 14 years old.
Okay.
That's their parents' obligation.
How does one confirm if they were registered or not?
As long as you have, if you read the regulation, as long as you have been in contact with USCIS by filing in the past, even in the past, if you had your case litigated before the immigration court or had a case, had applied for a benefit before the USCIS, but your benefit was denied, USCIS already has notice of you being in the country.
Okay.
So those people are deemed to have notified the government where they are. The government has records. They know that they have orders of removal. There is also another requirement that if you are here, you have to update USCIS and the immigration court system with the change of address. So,
Okay.
Well, what advice would you give to immigrants and families today who still feel uncertain or fearful about their status in America?
my only advice would be to consult with attorneys to see whether they have any relief available to their particular case.
How do you stay hopeful and keep your clients hopeful during these times when immigration reform seems stalled or even moving backwards?
Okay. I believe in the justice system. I believe in check and balances of powers. And the only way that we can move forward with any administration is by doing our best job as attorneys, being diligent, and working hard on our clients' cases.
I guess maybe something else you can help our viewers is what should we do if an immigration officer does stop you and ask for your documents?
Well, the
That's a
two
good one.
places that you can be stopped, and it's happening a lot, and it's happened in the past as well, is home and in public. If you're in public, you have a right to remain silent. If you're stopped by an immigration officer, you can very politely say, I choose my right to remain silent, and am I free to go? It's illegal to stop people based on
Looks.
skin color,
Yeah.
location, work. So that would be my only advice.
that's
You have the right to remain silent.
Yes, I choose my right to remain silent, and am I free to go? At home, the government, you don't have to open the door,
Okay.
and you can ask the USCIS to slide a judicial warrant that should be issued by a federal district judge.
So they can't get into your home without that warrant?
No, without the warrant, no one has the right to get to your home.
And just to clarify, it has to be from a federal judge.
That's
So
correct.
if they submit a paper under the door and it doesn't say federal judge or says local judge, that does not count.
It has to be a federal district judge. It cannot be an immigration judge. It cannot be signed by a USCIS supervisor. USCIS has the right to enforce the judge's orders. However, there is protection for people while at home, as long as there is a signed federal district judge warrant, then they should open their door.
Okay.
Are you seeing a lot of questions now because of this change that people are calling your office to say, hey, what should I do? Am I going to be okay?
It's not only this time. It's every time that administrations shifts in politics. There is different administrations choose to do different things to enforce different laws. As long as the laws exist,
we have to abide by them.
We have to abide by them.
Yeah.
And yes, there is in every administrations, there is a lot of more phone calls in the beginning until things settle and people are more clear about what's happening.
So, Beti, I want to talk a little bit about the Albanian community now. I know that you are the president of the Albanian American Women's Organization, Motrat Qiriazi. What drew you to this role and what the impact has been so far?
The desire to help and to give back to my community and to stay close to my roots, to my identity, to my heritage, to who I am, to help other women who, just like me, came to United States and faced many difficulties, to assimilate with a new culture and to not forget who they were and where they came from, their traditions, their identity. The first time I was invited by one of my close friends, Albania Conte, to join the dinner event that they were doing. It was amazing. It was a wonderful experience to see other women, successful women, caring women, giving women. Those were the things that inspired me. Then the more time passed, that was sometime in 2010, I started getting closer and closer, volunteering for the organization, trying to help as much as I could. At the time I had my second boy, Johnny, was born, and he was very young, but still I just felt that I could do something. Even a little thing would make a difference. It came a point where Dr. Cohen retired, a woman which I value tremendously. I've learned a lot, and I continue to learn from her. Now she is running she's a president of the chapter, AWO chapter in Florida, which has grown since she moved there, has grown a lot. And we have expanded our work to outside the tri-state area,
Okay.
which is very important. She retired, and she approached me whether I was going to take the role of running the organization, which at the time I was a little hesitant, being that with all the work that I had, handling family, little boy, a teenage boy at the time, and practice. But I felt that it was very important that we find the time to give back to our community. With the help of my husband, Isidore, who's been tremendous help, I couldn't do it alone, especially at the time and even nowadays. I decided that, yes, I will be part of the organization and I would take that role. The board members, we had a board meeting. I was voted also. It was just a suggestion that she wanted, but the board voted, and I took the role of the president. The truth of the matter is, beside my husband, the board of AAWO is an incredible board. The foundation is our friendship and the desire to help the community, to keep our language, our heritage, our identity alive for generations to come.
So let's talk about the history a little bit, because I don't know if people know the history of Motrat Qiriazi. You guys go way back. I remember.
Very interesting history.
In 2007, that's when I learned about Motrat Qiriazi, and they were involved with the Albanian parade in the city, the Immigrant State Parade. And it was so small because at the time it wasn't that popular. I'm like, wow, I gotta get involved with this and make it bigger.
Yes.
So that's when I learned about the organization.
And one thing about the organization, we are open to everyone. It's a women's organization, but we do not discriminate.
Are there men part of the organization?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we've had many men. And without them, I would say, we fight for equal justice and human rights for women. But we always keep in mind that fighting for equal rights doesn't mean we're above men. We need men to be equal to, and yes, and it's been many men in our community who have been our backbone as well. We had Harry Baraktari. Mr. Baraktari has been tremendous help for the organization. He's attended a lot of our women's events with his family. Fadil Berisha, many men in our community who attend our events and support us and applaud us.
What would you say is one of the biggest challenges that you or your organization have faced in fighting for the women's rights and just trying to empower women?
I wouldn't say challenges. The only challenge is that we are volunteer-based, and we are mindful of each other's times because we all have regular jobs and families to run. But it's that desire that to work for the community, to help others in need, to empower women that overcomes every challenge that we have, being it time-wise. We've worked crazy hours to make this happen. Even after 8, 9 p.m. When we organize events or when we receive phone calls, answer emails, we work long hours to make this happen. So any challenge can be overcome if you have a desire to pursue and to make the mission of the organization continued. Because as I always say, for the moment, I'm the driver of the bus. My goal is that the new generation, the new president, continues the work that many other presidents previously in the organization have done. As far as the origin of the organization, it started over 30 years ago under the pretense of celebrating a group of women celebrating their children's birthdays at Shqipe Biba's house.
Oh, yeah, I remember she.
Yes, a wonderful lady. They shared their problems, their fears, their hopes, dreams, never thinking that one day they could become the voice and make a difference in their community. Times changed. During Kosovo war and the struggles, the political and economical struggles that they faced during the Serbian regime created a scene where this woman could not be silenced. They had to defend and protect the people in their homeland who were suffering. So it was then, at that time, when the organization was founded with the help of my mentor, Dr. Anna Cohen.
Yeah.
And they became a home for refugees, a home away from their home. During those meetings at the AAW offices back then, I've been told there were hundreds of men supporting us. And they were amazed at the power that as women, our voice was heard, not only in our community here in the United States, but also at the White House. Albanian American Women's Organization participated in demonstrations, raising the voice, making the public aware of the atrocities that were happening in Kosovo. And not surprisingly, other women's organizations came forward to work with them to meet those needs. As I said, during that time, AAWO was home for many refugees that came from Kosovo. Thankful to things changing. AAWO has shifted in a way. It's always there in time of need, but we have shifted our aim to helping now empower and educate women.
Very nice.
To live their spirit, to make them resilient, because as newcomers, we face many difficulties. When you first leave your country, assimilation is a process.
Yeah.
And assimilating is a beautiful thing that this country offers us as women. But also, it's very important not to lose our identities, our heritage, culture, traditions for the generations to come.
So how would someone, a woman from, either Albania, Macedonia, wherever,
Yes.
when they come to this country for the first time and they don't have friends or family and they need some help and guidance, how would they find your organization, and how can they just come and just be a participant of it?
Yes. They we have a Facebook, we have a website, we have Instagram. Luckily,
media, yeah.
Nowadays it's very easy.
Yeah.
You could Google the name and you'll find the information, the phone number. Any woman out there can reach out at 212-244-8440. We have someone who always answers the phones and gets back to anybody that calls us or tries to reach us via email or sends messages in Instagram.
How many members does the organization have currently?
Right now, it's definitely over 800 members.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
800 members.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty powerful.
And if you'd like to become a member, there is a membership fee. A lot of times when we do events, or we've had even people reach out to us to become members. One benefit of becoming a member is that sometimes you get a discount price when we do events. Mm-hmm. We've been very lucky lately to have been supported by another amazing woman, Fotini Alteni, and supported by our Kozlovsky Foundation. who has donated to the organization and we've been able to hold series of seminars to empower and educate women.
And who's behind that? I'm sorry. The name.
Behind this organization is it happened to be one of our fellow sisters, Fotini Alteni.
Oh,
Motrat Qiriazi received citations from New York City Council, State Senate, and Congress members. What do these recognitions mean to your organization and also to you personally?
It means a lot to the organization. It means a lot because it means that we are doing the right job. And being recognized, it inspires us to do even more.
As a passionate advocate for cultural preservation, how do you believe Albanians abroad can keep their cultural identity alive while fully participating in American society?
These beautiful organizations that we have, different organization, AWO, Motrat Qiriazi is one of them.
Yeah.
But collaborating, working with each other and working independently, fulfilling our missions. Collaboration is a very important thing. We have to be together, work with each other, and support each other as organizations, because at the end of the day, as we pursuing our missions, we all one community.
How do you see that collaboration today, though, between organizations? Now that you're the president and you get to deal with some of these leaders, is there any? How's that collaboration been?
Collaboration, every time I've reached out to other organizations, has been very well.
For the most part, you can say it's been good.
For the most part, I would say it has been very good. We collaborated with Vatra and other organizations, and whenever we needed them to support us, they've been there for us.
You have been very inspirational and have been doing a lot throughout your life between, your personal life with your family, professional life, the community work. How do you balance being an attorney, leader, wife, mother?
With a lot of help. With a lot of help. A lot of help from my family, and my husband and my children. They all had to sacrifice for me to be achieving my dream. It hasn't been alone. My mother sacrificed many hours helping raise my children when I was working, pursuing my career. My husband as well has been there for me, whether it was driving me to these events, helping me carry stuff to bring to the events. But one person that I am always thankful is my brother, who has been actually the man behind my motivation, whether it was to study, whether it was to volunteer and be part of the community.
Is that the brother's my friend also?
Yes. My brother Tommy, who I admire a lot for his own achievements.
Yeah.
Has been a role model. He, just like me, came to the United States. We both struggled, faced many challenges and difficulties, but he pursued, while helping me, he carried the burden of being a new immigrant in this country to help not only my parents, but also me through school. So as he was pursuing his PhD in mechanical engineering, I think it was the strength that I had to be equal to him. I had to, just because he was a male, there was no difference between me and my brother. He always pushed me to be educated and facilitated that I be. That be monetary wise, emotionally wise. He was there to show me that there is no difference between me and you. You have to finish school. You have to pursue your dreams. And when I had nights that I cried because I felt that I couldn't make it, whether it was learning English in the beginning or missing my friends, missing my homeland, missing my grandparents. He was my rock. He was the person who picked me up and said, you have to do it.
It's not easy. Coming from another country, learning the language, and pursuing your passion in the environment that...
Absolutely not. It is not easy. The respect that I have for women and men that come from other country and fulfill their American dream. I could only say sometimes we have to stop and give a pat in our back and say, you've done enough. Which we don't.
What leadership lessons have you learned from your journey that you believe are crucial for women who want to lead change in their communities?
Sky is the limit. Whenever life gives you punches, get up, straighten your head, and walk.
Okay.
If you could pass down one value or lesson from your work and advocacy to your daughter, what would that be?
Never give up. Never give up on your dreams. You have it. You're enough. You don't need validation from the society or anyone. Have faith in yourself. Be strong and be persistent and consistent.
Very nice. Beti, I want to bring it back to the organization again. Tell us a little bit about any upcoming projects that you guys are working on, things that we should learn.
Yeah, we have scheduled events throughout the year. The upcoming event is an elderly seminar where our guest speakers are two distinguished women in their professional world, Dr. Mirela Krasniqi and Dr. Evia Alikainana.
Very nice. And what are they going to talk about?
The topic is aging well and taking care of your eyesight. So we provide information. The speakers will provide information, guide women where to find resources and how to take care of themselves.
And this will be a series of events that will be happening throughout the year.
Yes. It started a couple of years ago. We do different workshops. We've done real estate, educating women in buying their first home.
Very nice.
Yes, we've done workshops, mental health awareness, which is major in our community. As we know, Albanians are afraid to speak up about their mental health issues, and we're trying to make the community aware that it's okay. Brain is an organ, just like any organ, and needs to be taken care. And should be no stigma for seeking help.
And any other events that you guys towards the end of the year?
Towards the end of the year, we are doing the Mother's Day event past, which is one of our traditions, has become a tradition where we recognize members, the Woman of the Year and the Teacher of the Year for their accomplishment, not only in their profession, but also in their community work. At the end of the year, we do the holiday party where we celebrate our culture, our achievements. We get together where many women form their friendships, network, and while we're preserving our identity.
Very nice.
Thank you so much.
Beti, thank you. It was a pleasure to have you on the show and learning more about your background and your work with Motrat Qiriazi. We hope to see more projects coming out of you guys, and just let us know.
Indeed, it's my pleasure to be here today, and I wish you all the best. I congratulate you on your work, as you are also very valuable in sharing information and inspiring other people.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye.
good day.